Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today the 13th of February 2014. So in today's news we have some interesting things. First of all, some talk about the Scroll of Resurection, the Battle.net launcher, the level 90 boost, and then a few tweets. But before we get into the main news, I'm going to share a video with you. Basically, there is a competition going on over at Linus Tech Tips. It's a technology enthusiast channel that I've been following for many years, and as a part of their sort of 2014 initiative, they're doing a number of giveaways. And one of those giveaways is for people like myself who've got over 10,000 followers on some sort of platform. And basically, if we share the video, then we are in with the chance of winning an Ultrabook. Why would this Ultrabook be handy for me? Well, basically, I spend a lot of time on a train, and if I have a nice portable thing with long battery life, it will help me write videos and scripts and things like that while I'm on the train. There's also a competition that you yourself can enter. It's for a crazy $3,000 gaming computer, which I kind of like, but yeah, anyway, look, it's a great YouTube channel, check it out, blah blah blah, all done. So, let's get into the World of Warcraft news, because that is what you're here for. First of all, we have the Scroll of Resurection. This is actually being retired on the 18th of February, with the Warlords of Draenor preview coming into, or not preview, sorry, pre-order coming into existence. The Scroll of Resurrection is just going to be a little bit less relevant. And now, of course, this pre-order will come with the level 90 boost. And then, of course, just with the level 90 boost existing in general, there's really just diminished use for the Scroll of Resurrection, because you can't just go boost up a new character. So any invitations that have been received before the 18th of February will still be good for 30 days after that point, but basically the gist is that by the 18th of March, the Scroll of Resurrections will be completely gone from the face of the planet, which is fine. If you don't know what the Scroll of Resurrection was, basically I think you'd get like a character boost up to level 80 if you were like out of the game for a few months. I'm not sure, and I never really partook in it personally. But yeah, it's a thing that's going away in favor of this level 90 boost. And I've got to think, like, this Scroll of Resurrection wasn't really like a for money thing, whereas the level 90 boost was. So that is that's a bit of an interesting change there. Honestly, this is not a change that affects a great deal of people, but we can infer a few things from it. We probably know that because of this, the pre-order is going to be coming within the next 2 weeks' time. It would certainly make sense, and that's probably the only reason why they would remove this scroll feature, because a large influx of people will be getting their level 90 boosts. Therefore, the scroll is now not relevant. So this is pretty exciting, and perhaps the beta will come out around a similar time. Honestly, it is about time they released the beta, so yeah, get on it, Blizzard. I'm kind of terrified for the beta, actually, because I will somehow have to manage doing university and the beta at the same time. What will likely happen is I'll just pay a friend of mine to take my university key fob with them to classes so that I still get attendance, and I'll just take like a week or two off and go balls to the wall, absolute crazy, to get you guys the coverage that you want to see, assuming I get into the damn thing. Anyway, so next we also have got another pre-order related thing, and this is the Battle.net launcher. It's actually been updated to include some new Warlords of Draenor related art assets. This is once again a pretty solid indication of impending pre-orders. Overall though, it's very exciting to me. I just kind of can't wait for Warlords to start coming out, because World of Warcraft has definitely hit a bit of a dry spot. Well, I suppose unless you're a PvPer. If you partake in PvP, then you definitely do have quite a lot of content, actually, with, well, not content, but you have a lot of gameplay there with Season 15 coming in rather soon. Next, of course, we have a little bit of news about the level 90 boost. I know the first three topics of this today's show are rather similar, but hey, it's the best I could do. So for the level 90 boost, this is just a quick little mention, really. The boosted characters are going to receive item level 483 green gear. Now this seems like a pretty good option to me. It still allows for the full patch 5.4 gear progression to occur, and then also hints at roughly the same kind of, well, in terms of the difficulty for the initial Warlords of Draenor content, they couldn't expect you to have much higher than 483 gear going into that, so it shouldn't be too hard. Still though, very interesting stuff. Now one thing I did notice is that the models for this gear, they're actually quite nice. I'm pretty sure that they're either just recolors or basically flat-out copies of some of the other Mists of Pandaria sets, but if you do want like me to do some sort of 3D preview video for the lot of them, then I'll see what I can rustle up. It may not happen, but if you do want to see that, let me know in the comments. I'll just kind of have to gauge what people really want there. Anyway, so now that we've talked about that, let's just move on to the final part of today's news, which is the tweets. So first of all, we have a tweet from Watcher, who's Ian Hazacostas, and that he is the main, like the main encounter designer guy. Very important person. He said that in Warlords of Draenor raids, specifically for High Mall and Blackrock Foundry, they are going for varied layouts. High Mall itself will resemble Highlands, and Blackrock Foundry will resemble ICC. So definitely parts of them will be slightly linear, but other parts will be very much open-ended. I think this is definitely a fantastic move for Warlords. Honestly, throughout Mists of Pandaria, we've had nothing but linear raids. And sure, we've had lots of really fun, solid raids, but it does, like, kind of grind you down a little bit, doesn't it? Knowing that you will always have to go through the same exact rotation of bosses to get to wherever you want to go in raids. That's kind of annoying, so it's nice that we're going to have more options. Though I do hope that they maintain this when we move into other patches. Often what's happened is Blizzard has an initial raid tier that's got multiple different raids, some of them are not linear and it's really great, but then subsequent patches just end up being one large linear raid, and that is fine. But, well, I think the main reason they do that is because they don't want to have to make the art team make two separate raids with two separate art styles, and I suppose that's a valid concern. But still, I do think that as we move on, I would want the subsequent raid tiers to still be non-linear and also to be multiple raids per tier, because, while Siege of Orgrimmar is a really nice raid and I really do enjoy it, I just think that 14 bosses all at once is too much. And that tiny bit of non-linear sort of whatever the hell you'd call it at the very end of the siege, it just isn't enough, really. It doesn't spice it up at all. It's really only 2 choices, and that's not enough out of 14. So there you go, we have that from Watcher. And then finally we have a fantastic tweet from Chris C. Robertson. He is the lead art guy over at Blizzard, or at least the lead art guy on the World of Warcraft team, and he said that he hopes to add some darkness back into the world for Warlords of Draenor, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to have a similar opinion to me when it comes to the levels of, well, of light at night in the game. It's too damn bright, honestly. It's funny, like, I've been going around the place and just capturing stock footage for various longer videos that I do, and a lot of that stuff is done at night, and it really has started to get in my nerves, the fact that there is this constant glow that is coming from nowhere. It's not coming from any sun, and there's no way in hell that the stars are that damn bright. It's just as if the ground itself is radiating light, and honestly it looks absolutely ridiculous. Now, actually having looked at some of the promotional material that they put out for Warlords, I've gotta say, though, it does look a little bit more dark and moody, at least for the nighttime shots that they've showed us, and that definitely is a rather nice thing to see. Also, just one little thing that I forgot to put in the show notes when I was recording this, but I'm just going to put in post-editing. There's actually a new screenshot that came out for Talador. If you don't know where Talador is, it's essentially what would become the Terracor Forest. It is the heartland of the Draenei civilization. It was just a new screenshot that was posted by one of the Blizzard staff on Twitter, so I'll stick that on the screen. And yeah, honestly, Talador is one of those zones I'm really looking forward to seeing. I've played a Draenei as a main character since 2008, so I suppose it's pretty obvious that it's definitely a race whose lore I think I really do want to know, and Talador just looks beautiful. Just on the topic, actually, of what Chris was talking about with the Darker Nights, looking at just 1 or 2 of the videos in Shadowmoon Valley, of course the non-destroyed Draenor version of the area, it really does look a lot darker at night, and that is very, very heartening to see. So yeah, that is essentially it for today's Warcraft Daily. I did try to rustle up as much news as I could, but unfortunately not a great deal happened. Now, if you do want a larger news-related video, go check out my Garrisons video. Basically, they had an Artcraft post on Garrisons, and I just have a full 20-minute video giving my thoughts and a full rundown of all the information that they released. So anyway, that is it for today's video. Last thing, you can check out that Linus Tech Tips video. You'll be in with a chance, as long as you follow the instructions, of winning a crate computer, which is worth $3,000. And yeah, that's the thing. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.